a murderous mommy, a butchering killer in a Boy Scout uniform, and oh, it's a remake of the original that came out just 2 years earlier. We watched Campground, the Requel. We watched it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
What's up, Moon Goons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Marshall Hampton. With me is my co-host, Mr. Aaron Southworth. Aaron, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. We've been gone a minute.
We have been gone.
We've been gone a hot minute. I want to apologize. There was a car accident that happened when I was literally on the way to come record on Monday. I got stopped on the bridge. It was a good 2-hour wait. I went and actually witnessed I'm not going to get into it because it was gnarly. It was bad, but it was like basically I saw someone die and I cried a whole bunch. I couldn't save him, but yeah, it was intense. I couldn't do the podcast afterwards, but I'm here today. We're having fun.
Today we are doing a little movie called Campground, the Requel. Now, before we get into that, I have some stuff I want to bring up. First of all, I should have brought this up a long time ago because this was a reaction to our 100th episode. And I meant to bring this up, but things happened, I forgot. But during that episode, at one point, we actually talked about how we hope we actually get some hate mail for some things we said about that. And sure enough, we did. We got a scathing hate mail on Twitter, which I found absolutely hilarious.
Yay.
So I got to share with you. It's from a guy named Skunk Rocker on Twitter. Now, keep in mind, he sent this first message. The first two came at the same time. So he sent these back to back. And it goes as follows. I get you do bad horror movies, but come the fuck on. In the same episode, you praised Full Moon. Come the fuck on, man. Because, yeah, we did talk about how Full Moon, we kind of like their catalog. But remember, our 100th episode, we did Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. So this guy had a big bone to pick with that. And then he sent us, does Freddy vs. Jason not fly on your radar at all? 5 is my favorite of the series. No, it's not the best film, I'll admit it, but it's great. So he sent those back to back. And you think that's enough. But no, this guy wasn't done with us. Because 3 hours later, he sends, you're getting hate mail, but not for the Freddy versus Planned Parenthood line. That actually made me laugh. No, seriously, this movie is good. So he's absolutely
really defending this movie
as we're ripping it apart. And then he's still not done. An hour later, he writes, all right, I'll admit I didn't know about the Superman shield on the comic scene. I'll give you props for letting me know about that. I never noticed that. Okay, is he done? No! 2 more hours pass, and he writes, 5-star review. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. So he's writing his own 5-star review because I guess he listened to that segment. This is my favorite movie of all time. My favorite nightmare film. I admit 3 is better, but this is my favorite. Watch it. Is he done? No, he's still not done.
Good God.
He writes back, might check out this podcast in the future for other films, but for now, ... You guys shit on one of my favorite films. Not sure how I feel. Cry some tears for me, Argentina, whatever. But I just found that absolutely hilarious. In fact, now it would have been funny enough if you just wrote one. But the fact he spoke, of course, 6 hours.
We really got under his skin.
We really got under his skin for that one.
It just had to keep coming back.
Yeah.
Now, I know you run the Twitter. I don't run the Twitter.
Right.
You kind of do the Facebook and the Twitter, and I do the Instagram and nothing else.
That's about it.
Did you respond to him at all?
No, because by the time I got it, I was lacking it too much. I was like,
well, we went out after, well, I guess this was a day or two later. Or,
yeah, this was.
Yeah, it wouldn't really count because we got hammered after episode.
Yeah, we
100.
were pretty hammered.
But it got posted the next day when we were sober, or at least hungover.
Yeah, those came in. Yeah, it obviously came in a day or two after the episode was recorded. But it was just, I find it I find it was awesome.
But this
like,
isn't
great.
You're not somebody until you have enemies.
Exactly.
So the
Somebody
fact
hates
that we
you.
started getting some hate mail, that's great. So please let us have it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So also, right before we record this, we actually just had an awesome interview with the writer and director of the Pork Chop and Pig Girl movies, the entire Pork Chop series and Pig Girl, Eamon Hardiman, along with Missy Dawn, who's also an actor in the movies and a producer.
She's Pig Girl.
She's Pig Girl. They sat down with us for an hour and a half interview, which turned out, I thought it was going to be 20, 30 minutes, but we just really...
It was a good conversation.
It was a great conversation, so look for that to be posted as well. So you're basically going to get a twofer. You're going to get a double dose when these are all posted, so look for that, check it out.
We were a little slow on getting the next one out, so we'll give you a little bigger dose.
Yep.
We'll keep that high running a little longer.
So back to the movie at hand. Like I said, we are doing Campground the Requel. Now, this was released in November of 2015, only 2 years after the original Campground movie, which was released by Studio 605, same studio, which again is weird because normally time if you're going to do kind of a remake or a reimagining, normally there's a little more time that passes.
It's
than
not
just
a lot of time.
2 years.
You didn't let it soak in.
No, I mean, even like when they first redid Spider-Man, like 10 years had passed. Even I thought, I was like, geez, it's only been 10 years. Come on, you don't need to remake something already. But
I still have a fart going from 2 years ago. It's a very slow fart, but yeah, it's still going.
This movie was written by Roman Jossart. Sorry if I Jossart, Jossart, unless I'm pronouncing it wrong, and Brandon Pruitt, and it was directed by Roman Jossart as well. Now, Roman Jossart might be a familiar name for those who listen to all of our episodes because he was actually in the movie Don't Fuck in the Woods, where he played Mac, who was probably one of the best characters in that movie.
He was a
His
fun
performance
character.
is great. So he actually wrote and directed this movie, and he's also in it as well. The cast, I started writing down notes about the cast, but then I realized I gave up because like none of them I've ever heard of, except like for us, we know Roman because of Don't Fuck in the Woods. But pretty much the cast is it's almost the entirely same cast as the original Campground. Everybody came back to reprieve their roles or do whatever. The only person I wrote down is the girl who plays the lead role, Heidi, is played by a girl named Anna Love, which just sounds like a porn star name. I'm sorry, but whatever.
Anna Love.
Anna Love.
Put an L in there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. She's only got 3 credits for name. She did this, like I said, the original Campground movie, and she also did a Friday the 13th fan film or short called Friday the 13th: The Curse of Jason, which a few other, I think people like Roman, a few other people were involved in as well. Other than that, there's really not going to really go into the cast on this one. We're just going to jump right into the movie. Now, we opened the movie with a mother and her son, who I'm guessing is maybe 12-ish.
10, 12, yeah.
They're just walking
He
past
hasn't
the
hit
woods.
puberty yet.
Yeah. And they're both looking happy, and they're just enjoying the nice sunny day. And she leads him to this barn and ushers him inside. And now the mother turns around the face of the camera and, uh-oh, that happy demeanor is gone.
No, it is definitely gone. She's gone from like, hi, I'm having a great time, to fucking stink face.
Yeah,
she smelled that 2-year-old fart.
Yeah.
She does not look happy.
She's got some sinister plans going on. And like I said, she does not look anymore, and she looks like she's straight up going to kill someone. And that's exactly what she fucking does. Because she straight up murders her son in this barn with like a screwdriver for like no reason. There's zero backstory to this. It's just, hey son, come out with a walk with me. Okay, mommy, where are we going? Oh, we're going to go to this barn, honey.
To your death.
Mommy, what are you doing? Mommy, no! It just stabs, just bloody stabbing this guy with a screwdriver.
Very unexpected.
Yeah.
That's how we start.
Yeah.
With child murder.
With child murder. I forget what the act. It's not matricide because that would be killing your mom, but
Infanticide.
I don't know what it is when you kill your own kid.
I don't know about that stuff.
So,
Murder.
But like, the weird thing is, like, right before she stabs him the first time, she like, reaches out one hand, kind of like rubs her hand through her hair, and kind of very lovingly, like, and she even like mouths the words like "I love you," I think, and then she just stabs him with this rusty screwdriver, and the son drops dead. And he, like at first, there's zero blood spray. He just drops dead. But then when we see the mom like kind of stand back up, she's drenched in blood head to toe, even though there was zero blood.
She's
in
got
the
like
scene.
the crimson mask. Yeah.
It's like Carrie-esque, like
Right.
levels of blood. She just stands up and just leaves, walks out of the barn. That's it. We cut to a group of college buddies, like a bunch of guys sitting around a campfire, telling ghost stories and whatnot. And one of the
guys telling the story.
one of the guys is telling the story of what we just happened. So, and he goes on to say that the mother ended up turning herself in, but the son's body was never found. And that 30 years later, there's this group of friends at a birthday party at the campground where the son was killed. So we get another cut, and this cut takes us to like another flashback.
But it's like modern day.
But it's not. I don't know how modern. It's really.
Well, they had cell phones and stuff, so it's
Right.
modern time.
It's
Let me
not-
put it that
it's-
way.
yeah, maybe-
it's 2010 and beyond.
Maybe the flashback happened like a year ago from what
Right.
these four guys are sitting around when these four guys
Right.
are. So it's really weird because you have a flashback, present, and then a flashback, which is like the whole movie now. So we're taken to this small grocery store where we meet Roman Jossart, the writer director of the play, and he plays a character named Brandon, and he's buying beer for like the party and everything, and we're jumping ahead a few meaningless scenes because Brandon is.
So yeah, they're going to a party. He's buying some beers. It's somebody's birthday party, and they're going to go party out in the woods where they used to party when they were kids,
Yeah,
or when they
something
were youngsters and young rabble rousers.
Something like that, yeah. So Brandon and his girlfriend arrive at the camp. Now his girlfriend is Heidi, like I said, she's the main girl, and they meet up with the rest of their friends. And so we have a pretty decent sized group of college kids at this point. And other than Brandon and Kevin, who is the black guy, I pretty much have zero idea who any of these names are.
The only way to really identify him, because he's just the black guy, you know.
really
and I
is.
hate to say it, but yeah, I mean,
There's not a whole lot of personality
it's,
to these
you know,
characters.
obviously we're an audio show, we're not a visual, so yeah, he's black.
Yep.
So that's it.
So Brandon starts telling the same story about Charlie Varson, which is the kid that was murdered. He's retelling the scene of the story we just saw in flashback. So like the first 5 minutes of the movie, we're getting the same story twice now, which is a little bit of an overkill. While a guy in a red shirt and black beanie takes his tattooed semi-goth girlfriend into a tent to fuck, we get the boobies. Boobies are seen. And
Boobies are seen.
Boobies are seen. Boobies on film. And but we also see a shadow of like the killer outside the tent, like he's like behind the tent. After they fuck, she has him go to retrieve her bra from outside the tent, which is bullshit because when you watch this scene, she takes the bra off inside the tent, and even if she took it off and then tossed it outside and it lands outside the tent before they zipped up the flap, which they didn't happen that way. The fucking bra would be like right outside the flap. You just reach your hand and grab it. But for some reason, apparently, this thing is like 8 feet away. Like he has to get up, walk around looking for his bra.
Looking for it, going, damn it,
Where's his bra? It would be clear. It'd be right there. So the camera cuts back to the girl in the tent, calling out for her man, but she gets no response. And so she goes out of the tent to see what's up, and she finds her man lying on the ground, motionless. She says, "Get up! You're not that drunk. Whatever." But that's when she sees he has a screwdriver sticking out of his neck. She screams, but immediately stumbles. Our killer then runs in, rips the screwdriver out of the guy's neck, grabs the girl, and in doing so, he gets a really nice handful of titty in this grab.
He does.
He just like grabs a tit.
Give me that titty.
Give me that titty. And Charlie Varson, our killer, stabs her through the back of her neck, killing her with a screwdriver. I will say a screwdriver, yeah, it's kind of unique. I mean, you don't have like Jason the machete, Michael the knife. You know, it's a unique one, but goddamn, it's pretty boring and unintimidating.
He kills a lot of people with a screwdriver, and I'm sorry, but a screwdriver is, you know, about the thickness of a pencil.
Yeah.
You know, so but I mean, but you have to hit. You got to hit your mark every single time. If you're doing one stab, one kill, you got to hit your spot.
Yeah.
You got to be like a surgeon, you know, because you can stab someone 13, 14 times with a screwdriver. If you're not hitting vital organs, they can still live and get away.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, you can stab somebody, yeah, but it just doesn't seem like it would, do that much damage. Like I say, unless you're absolutely pinpoint perfect.
Right, you got to have. I mean, maybe he's been practicing.
And that's I mean, it's Russian, so maybe they're getting tetanus, but that's a long kill. That's the long game kill right there.
That's
the long-
thwarted by penicillin.
Yeah. So we cut to Brandon. And he's scaring his girlfriend Hyde, just something like go jump out of the woods, scared bullshit. As she comes out of like the bathroom, and they rejoin the others around the fire, and that's all. Yeah, it's just a short, dinky little scene. But now we see some blonde girl who's off by herself smoking weed, Like I don't know who this girl is. I don't know her name. She's just blonde. She's kind of cute. And she's off smoking weed by herself.
She's the girl. I mean, we're not going to get too deep into it but she's one of the girl. She's part of a couple. She walked away from the group to go smoke a bowl.
Yeah.
And smoke a bowl at breakneck speed. That girl wants to get fucked up.
Yeah, she does.
She's just like tearing through that bowl. It's not like taking a puff and chilling.
No.
Nope. She's just
She's
ripping.
on a mission.
She's ripping through it.
So she's off, like I said, she's by herself, and then absolutely no one's surprised. She gets grabbed by Charlie from behind, snaps her neck. She's dead.
You say to no one's surprised. It surprised me. The thing that surprises me.
Really?
Well, it doesn't. Obviously, the setup means someone's going to get murdered.
Right.
What surprises me is we just started the movie, and I think we got our group of people, and it's all of a sudden 1, 2, 3. I mean, they're dropping like flies, and all three of these kills happen in less than 5 minutes. I'm like, holy shit!
That's true. That's true.
How much longer can this go? This movie's going to be done in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. I didn't mention it's a long movie too. It's like a good hour 45, hour 40, something like that. But yeah, you're right. We're burning through the cast like in the first few minutes. But before we move on, let's talk about our killer Charlie for a second. So as of right now, what we've seen, he is kind of like visually the least scary or intimidating killer like ever right now, because he's just wearing jeans and a black t-shirt with like this crappy like red mask.
His mask.
It's just like a red. I don't even know how to describe it. It's not really scary. It's just red.
It's weird. It's a mask that you tie it around the back of your head, and it just covers your face. And it's a bizarre. It's almost like
it's not even like the Michael Myers mask where it covers his whole head. It's just like a wrap around.
Right.
Just cover the face.
It almost looks like a bizarre doll mask, but painted red. And
At
by
first,
doll, I mean something like from the movie from Puppet Masters. Almost, it's like a Puppet Master-esque, the little stabby guy, the main puppet.
Yeah, Blade.
That's what I thought. Blade, yeah. So, but red.
Yeah.
But he is a hulking man. He's a very big man.
He is a big
muscular guy.
But I'm just saying, visually, other than just being big, it's not like he's, it's not like the iconic Jason mask of Michael Myers. Something other really cool. Even the mask from Playing with Dolls Bloodlust was a pretty cool mask. That was cool. This is just kind of boring red. And at this point, it's just held on by like a tiny little string. So anyway, back the nameless girl, she's dead. Charlie drags her body away. Back to the group. Some guy gets up to go look for Weed Girl. He finds her pipe in the grass, which again is a real stretch because it's dark out, and this is like a glass pipe.
Whoa, what's this? She wouldn't leave this behind.
I mean, it's basically like he walks to the spot, looks directly down his feet. Oh, look, there's the pipe. Like, the odds of this happening are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially since he has zero flashlight.
Yeah. There's also something to be said about the acting, too.
Yeah.
It's pretty stiff.
Yeah, this guy's real
Where
stiff.
are you? Hey, I found her pipe. She wouldn't leave this behind.
This guy is maybe one of the worst actors in this whole movie. Like, he's bad. He's very stiff.
Yeah.
So, regardless, he finds Weed Girl, who's at this point we learn her name's Lori. Not that it fucking matters, but she's hanging from a swing set, like a playground swing set, and she's been hung by the chains that from the swing. And he runs back to the camp to tell the others that she's dead. She's dead. He leads them back to the body, but of course now the body's gone. She's disappeared. The group decides half of them don't believe him. The other half decides, okay, you know what? We're gonna leave. We'll go get help.
Yeah, they're telling scary stories, so then they think they're fucking around.
Yeah. But eventually say, okay, we'll get help. Let's rush back to the car. So what they do, they rush back to the car. Brandon opens the car door, and out falls the body of the tattooed semi-goth girl we just saw. And this causes the group to just scatter and run. They just split off in different directions and run away.
They don't move the body out of the way and get in the car.
No, they're just like, oh,
out in the woods, everyone!
Yeah, instead of running, get in the car, drive to safety. Let's run out into like lemmings into the woods.
Yeah,
where we're just
and they all scatter. Yeah, they all scatter.
Nobody like really stays together, except for Brandon and Justin, who is the guy who finds Weed.
Yeah, Brandon doesn't stick with his girl.
No,
he just met this guy. He's like, "Let's go, buddy."
Yeah, girlfriend be damned. He goes with this new guy. Brandon's like, "Hey, we need to stop so I can catch my breath," and during this scene, Justin treats us with just a pure, magical display of Oscar-worthy acting at this. It's so. I wish I had the audio clip to play for you guys, but I didn't get time to make that transfer. But he basically says we should fight the killer, and that if you're not with me, I'll do it alone if he has to. And then he starts going off by himself.
It's so bad.
It's
the guy who plays Brandon. He's like out of breath.
Brandon is
like
Roman.
Yeah,
he's solid.
He's on his hands and he's on his knees. He's leaning over. Oh God, he's freaking out. He's doing everything that you should do in that situation.
Right.
Whereas the other guy, Justin, is just standing straight up, going, "No, man, I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna go find this guy and fuck him up." And I think I'm doing a better job right now.
His acting and posture are about as stiff as a board. It's just.
Like poor Roman had nothing to work with.
No,
there.
he does not. So Brandon, of course, he does chase after him, but Charlie pops up out of nowhere, now wearing a Boy Scout uniform. Which again, he wasn't wearing that earlier, but now he's wearing a Boy Scout uniform.
Yeah.
And Charlie just grabs Justin, snaps his neck like a Slim Jim. Oh yeah! I haven't done that in a long time.
You haven't.
I have not done the Slim Jim, but anyway,
snap that neck like a Slim Jim.
So Brandon puts on the brakes and hauls ass back towards the way he came. Charlie turns and runs after him. Now this is that kid where you actually see the killer running. He does run in this one. He hauls ass.
Fucking hauls ass. And this is where he's chasing Roman or Brandon. And Brandon's going, he's scared. He's scared. The reason I say that is because I want to just remind me of that later on. Because he's fucking running and he's fucking scared.
Okay. Brandon reaches one of the cabins in this area, but it's locked. And he turns again, but Charlie pops up behind him, kills him, but I can't really tell how because it cuts away so fast. All I know is he's dead. Like, I don't know how he gets stabbed or where or with what, or if he gets his neck. It just happened so goddamn quick. I can't tell what's going on. All I know is he's dead.
So, like I said, we're fucking tearing. The body count is just piling up in the first 10 minutes.
Yep.
We're just tearing through motherfuckers.
So now we jump to Kevin, Heidi, and some other girl named Sally, and they decide to make it to the other side of the campground to hide in a cabin. Along the way, they find Brandon's body, so they freak out. And now we cut to this chubby deputy cop sitting in a car, eating a donut and looking at nudie mags. The three of them run up to the cop, begging for help, but of course he thinks...
The cop, you dumb drunk kids fucking with my net, how dare you?
Yeah, he just thinks they're drunk kids being stupid and whatever. So, but eventually he finally gets out of the car, and as soon as he gets out of the car, he's killed from behind.
Jesus Christ.
And from all I can tell is that his eye just explodes for no reason. Like, whatsoever. Like, he's just sitting there, all of a sudden his eye explodes out of his head, the body drops, and all we see is Charlie standing several feet behind him on the other side of the car. So, but we never see anything that could be used as a projectile.
Did he throw the screwdriver?
Or a thrown weapon. It's just nothing.
The only thing Charlie uses is a screwdriver.
Right, but he didn't throw it. Like, he didn't go through his head or not stick. It's just his eye just explodes and he dies. So.
And then this is what I'm talking about. The three youngsters witness this, and they all go running, but they're like, run! And there's no fear, there's no urgency, there's no, like, when Brandon was running, he was terrified because the killer's right behind him. They're running, it's like, just jog away, the acting's really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, so many of them are not.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't go that much depth on each of them, so none of them really have a whole lot of experience, obviously.
I get it.
I get that, but it's still a little...
Copy Roman.
Yeah.
Like, copy him. Whatever he's doing,
being scared and acting scared isn't that... It's not like a hard acting. It's not like being like subtle drama and all that stuff where you have to have like... Scared is one of the easy... I was thinking one of the
pretty
easy.
easy, yeah.
And even if it's bad, at least do it. You can convey it,
Yeah.
So this group of three, they run and hide in like the large bathrooms, like, the standalone bathroom house or, whatever, where they hear a phone ringing and they answer it, and it's Charlie reciting some creepy and cryptic rhyme. How did Charlie get their phone number? Like, how did that even happen? I don't know.
Where does he go? Does he go to another place to dial the phone? Does he have a cell phone on him?
What?
Oh, wait, but there's no cell phone reception around there.
Exactly, he said that too, because they had to go in the car to get help, but now the phone's ringing. It's, what's going on?
Ugh.
I don't know. So Kevin insists on staying in the bathroom still more because they think it's safe there. Sally, on the other hand, wants to get the fuck out and leave. She's like, I'm out of here. She runs off by herself, which, again, always a good idea. She manages to find a building that has a truck parked next to it, but the truck's locked. She can't get in. So she enters this building, which I think is supposed to be like a barn. So anyway, she goes inside. In the dark, she backs into Charlie, who was seemingly just standing there in the dark waiting for her. Like, he just knew, like, either he's like, I know she's gonna be there. Like, what the fuck? I was just standing there minding my business in the dark, being a weirdo. What you doing?
Ew.
Why are you invading my personal bubble?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Excuse me, ma'am.
So,
watch where you're going.
And also notice that this time the mask is actually being held on by much thicker, stronger looking black strap. It's like actual strap now. When the first time we see it, it's just like a white string. So we've already had I
didn't notice that.
Yeah. Basically, Charlie slits her throat. She dies. Back in the bathroom, Kevin and Heidi are talking about what the stories of Charlie are true. Heidi gets pissed off. She storms out, determined to go get help. Kevin goes after her. Now, what happens here I find very odd, because pretty much as soon as they leave the bathroom, Heidi sees a house with a porch light on and runs up to it. So, if this house was this close to the bathroom, one, why didn't Sally run to it when she left? I mean, wouldn't that be the first place you would run to if you're looking for help? Would be
someone's
a house with light on, not a dark, creepy barn. And besides that, why didn't the three of them go there looking for help in the first place instead of running into the bathrooms? If it's that close to them, like it's fucking odd. What's going on here? So they knock on the door. They're screaming for help, and they're let inside by this chubby guy named Michael.
Oh, you mean Fat Everlast? Because that's who it is.
You really might know what it's like.
Yeah, it's Fat Everlast is who it is.
I love that reference. I didn't even think about it. You're totally right.
It's Fat Everlast. He's got tattoos on his arms. He's got a hat, kind of like not a trucker hat, but like I don't know, fucking weird hat. So I've been drinking. Oh, and he's just like, hey, y'all, why don't you come on in?
Forgot about Everlast, man. I want to listen to that song now.
He's Fat Everlast. He had a weird, shitty, like, chin strap and everything. Yeah, Fat Everlast.
So Michael gets them water and asks what they're doing out here so late. And goddamn, for the third time in the first 25 minutes of this movie, we get another retelling of the Charlie story. But at least this one goes quickly.
We get it.
I know. Yeah, you're really hammering this story home. We've gotten it. We've got it the first time. Turns out that Michael and Charlie have some kind of agreement. That being that Michael stays out of Charlie's turf. He stays off his turf. And in turn, Charlie stays away from Michael's house. And Michael tells them tells the group that by letting them in, he has broken the agreement and that Charlie will come here looking for them.
So you think that'd be cause for concern?
Yeah, not really.
He doesn't seem too bothered by it.
He really does. He's like, you guys gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, if this agreement had stood before, and he knows about it, wouldn't he say he sees two kids running to his door, screaming and yelling for help? Don't you think that'd send off a little like spider sense in him, saying, "Oh shit, I bet it's Charlie trying to kill these little fucks." I bet it's
Charlie. Yeah.
Fuck off, kids.
Yeah, get the hell out of here. And then even like, he didn't even say like, "Oh shit, you gotta get the hell out of here." He's like, "Nope, you guys go ahead and stay here."
Calmly lets them
in. So if he's not even worried about the agreement being broken, then Charlie coming after him. It's like he's like, "Yeah, whatever." So it doesn't
work.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
What he just explained, he just broke. He just violated the terms of the agreement.
And there's no drama, no,
with like a weird southern drawl. He's like Dusty Rhodes. He's like Fat Everlast Dusty Rhodes. Dude, that's what he is. Because he talks like this, kind of my bad Dusty Rhodes impersonation.
He's wine and dine with kings and queens, and slept in the gutters on porks and beans, or whatever that line is.
I've wine and dined with kings and queens, and I've slept in alleys and eaten pork and beans. Ric Flair. But he sounds like, he's Fat Everlast channeling Dusty Rhodes.
There you go.
Dude, that's a great description.
I love it. So, so Michael rambles on and on about the other murders that Charlie has committed over the years. During this, Heidi asks, hey, can he even be killed? And Michael says the only way to kill him is to stab Charlie 13 times.
13 times.
Just like his mother.
Dude, that's what he sounds like.
God damn it! You're gonna make me laugh every time we do. With his just like his mother did with his own screwdriver. So hold on,
Yeah.
whoa. Let's hold the boat here. First of all, how the hell would he even know that? Like, did it just happen to come up when Michael and Charlie were sitting down together over a cup of coffee,
Right.
going over the terms of this peace treaty of theirs, and did Charlie just randomly say,
They each got their lawyer.
yeah, and then the Charlie's like, oh yeah, by the way, here's this nugget of information. You know, just in case it ever comes up, the only way I can be killed is if you stab me 13 times. And oh yeah, by the way, it has to be with my screwdriver. Like, what? How would he know this? Like, what the fuck?
Shit. When I heard that, I'm like, what the fuck am I getting into here?
So anyway, Michael tells them that, again, they can stay the night, but they have to leave in the morning because, once again, there's no repercussions for breaking this treaty, apparently. He's not worried at all that Charlie's going to come after him now.
He gives him bottles of water.
Yeah.
And I think he even gives him, like, bedding. And he's like, I'll be in my room. Good night. And, like, just walks off and goes to bed. Shit. It's so weird.
God damn it. So, I'm choking. So back in his room, which, by the way, makes Michael look like a crazy, creepy hoarder. It's like the most cluttered, messy room I've ever seen.
Yeah, this house, the house itself is just like an unfinished house.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, like, covering on the light switches kind of thing. There's shit everywhere. It just looked like a junky shit house.
Right. So, he pulls out and rubs a finger over a picture of a baby.
Yeah.
Which is weird. So at this point, my first thing is, okay, I'm guessing Michael is Charlie's brother or something. I'm guessing there's something going on.
Yeah,
here.
because, again, this was 30 years. So Charlie should be, in modern day, about, like, 40, 42. Right?
Do we ever get a date on when that he was killed?
He was about 10 years old when he got stabbed, right? And they said 30 years later. So he'd be about 40
years old.
In his, like, either super late 30s or early 40s.
Okay. Yeah.
So, maybe a brother.
Yeah,
right.
I can say. So back in the living room, Heidi, she's like, I want to get out of here. But again, Kevin's like, I just want to sleep and rest for the night, whatever. And so that's what they do. So, and we get
for about 30 seconds.
Yeah. And we get a bunch of sappy dream flashbacks of Heidi and Brandon being all cute and cutesy-wootsy together. You know, like doing all this romantic gay shit. And that's until Heidi is jolted awake by the memory of her finding Brandon's dead body.
And there's nothing to, like, build this up. The only time we saw them as a couple was briefly introducing themselves to other campgoers. And then, like, a brief conversation on the phone.
And how good of a couple are they really? Because he did not run after her. He went away from her.
He went with the guy he just met that night.
Yeah. There may have been problems with that relationship long before this.
Yeah. Someone doesn't have someone's looking at this relationship through rose-colored glasses.
Leave it to the girl and be like,
yeah.
You're so great. And the guy's like, I can't stand this bitch. She won't leave me alone.
I just met this dude. He seems cool.
So she wakes up Kevin and tells him that they're leaving. Like, we're getting out of here.
I know. It's like they made me sleep a half an hour.
Yeah.
And Kevin's pissed. He's like, I just want to sleep. I just want to rest.
But Heidi's lady balls have dropped at this point, and she takes control, ordering Kevin to leave with her because they're not going to be victims. Blah, blah, blah.
But they're safe in the house.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, this guy's like Switzerland out here to Charlie. He's
right.
Neutral. We're safe here. But let's go back out there where we can be easily picked off. So they exit the house and head back into the woods, where Kevin starts shouting out and calling out Charlie. So he's like, Charlie, get your ass out here, motherfucker. I'm going to kick your ass. But as soon as Charlie shows up.
And he shows up instantly.
Pretty much instantly. They take off running like bitches. It's like, if you're going to call somebody out, don't turn around and run off like a bitch when you get what you're asking for. Like, that's like. And we've seen that happen before, but like, god damn. So they end up at an old wooden barn. They go inside to hide, but that doesn't work out too well for them. Because Charlie just pops up, and now Kevin decides to fight him. So during the struggle, the screwdriver falls to the ground. Heidi leaps on Charlie's back. This distraction lets Kevin pick up the screwdriver. But before he can stab Charlie with it, Charlie has already tossed Heidi off, and he grabs Kevin. So the two of them are fighting again, and this fight scene is actually pretty decent for a low-budget movie. But it does go on for a while, too. It ends when Kevin drop kicks Charlie into some bushes.
Yeah, he does like the old, like, Chavo Guerrero senior drop kick, which is like you just jump straight up in the air and kick your feet out. Not like a pro wrestling drop kick like you see, but like you just imagine jumping straight up, falling backwards and kicking out.
Yeah.
Which was a Chavo Guerrero senior move.
So, yeah, Charlie in the bush, he throws the screwdriver at Kevin, impaling him in the chest with it, like kind of in the shoulder area. Charlie then, like, just bull rushes Kevin, slams him to the ground, but Kevin gets in one more punch. This one causes Charlie to reel back in pain and actually bleed a bit, which pisses Charlie off. But this gives Kevin time to get up. He rips the screwdriver out of his chest and taunts Charlie some more. Charlie channels his inner Hulk Hogan and rips off his Boy Scout shirt.
Yeah,
like
it is.
fucking Hogan. Which, by the way, the troop number on the sleeve of the shirt is 605, which is a nod to the production company that made this movie, Studio 605.
Oh, okay.
So they rush each other. Kevin stabs Charlie, who falls to the ground. Kevin pounces on him, stabs the shit out of Charlie.
13 times.
Or ish.
I counted and it wasn't 13 exactly.
Kevin just goes to town on Charlie. When Kevin stands back up, his face is covered in blood. And for good measure, he says, "Fuck you," throws the screwdriver right into Charlie's face. Just throws it down, like, impaling him like, in the eye or the forehead, right in the face. Kevin goes to check on Heidi, who has been knocked unconscious this whole time from just basically being tossed off his
Charlie
back.
just basically is a one-man, or pardon me, Kevin's a one-man wrecking crew here.
Yeah. So the two of them walk off as the sun rises. Now we jump back to those college kids, those four guys sitting around the campfire that were telling a story, and three of the four are giving the fourth guy, who is the storyteller, shit for how this story ends. But the storyteller says, "Hey, hold on. That's not how it ends. There's more." So he goes on to say, the very next day, and we go back to the
Now we go
flashback.
back.
To the flashback.
All right, so it's a tough one, guys, so
Yeah.
keep up with this here.
So we rejoin Heidi as she's lying in her bed crying over Brandon. Then she suddenly flips out and just gets fucking enraged. Like, she's crying and just hell, the thousand furies are just she's going nuts.
She's a ball of emotions, this one.
She slams this framed picture of herself and Brandon to the floor, smashing it, and storms out of the room.
You know what'd be funny? If they showed that scene where he runs off with that fucking guy instead of her, she gets mad and smashes it down on the glass. That son of a bitch! But no.
That would make sense. So I'm thinking some serious shit's about to go down, but nope. We cut to her in the shower. And all this weird black shit's like falling off of her, which is really
dirt.
weird.
It's supposed to be dirt.
I guess, but it looks like it's like hair dye because it's not like.
It's like dirt and grime.
It looks like oil or something.
They made her really dirty.
Yeah. So next we see her just sitting in the shower crying. And so I'm like, what happened to Angry Heidi? She wakes up, she's crying over pictures, she's enraged, she's slamming stuff, and now she's crying in the shower again. What is going on here? This is a wide range of emotions way too fast.
That bitch is bipolar.
So she goes from crying to so damn angry, smash, whatever. She's all over the place. So now we start getting shots of Kevin in his bathroom, spliced in with her crying in the shower. And he's just standing in front of the mirror with his wound bandaged up, looking at himself.
He's got his shit together.
Yeah, he's like, eh. Heidi gets out of the shower, wipes the mirror off, and has visions of Charlie standing behind her, that old jump scare. Now we cut to Charlie carrying the dead body of, I think, Sally at this point, into the barn, where we see Brandon's dead body propped up against the wall.
So Charlie's alive?
Charlie's alive.
So Charlie's alive, and he's cleaning up.
There's no wounds on him. He looks fine and dandy.
He's cleaning up his mess.
Yes.
He's stacking his bodies and tending to the grounds.
Yep. He drops Sally's body in the hay and then climbs up to the hayloft. And like I said, for someone who has been stabbed 13 times and had his face impaled with a fucking screwdriver, he looks and moves surprisingly well.
He looks pretty darn good.
There's zero blood on him or his clothes. No signs of trauma. His clothes are fine. No holes.
No limping. No guarding any area.
Nope.
Just
He's fine. He takes off his mask and the Boy Scout shirt and then breaks the shit out of this mirror.
Yeah, well, the shot was set up in a way where he's sitting down on this bale of hay, and there's a mirror next to him, and the mirror is just broken right where right where he takes off the mask. So you're like, oh, we're about to see his face.
Right.
But no, the mirror is broken enough that you can't make his face out,
and
he gets enraged and he breaks
smashes
the
some
mirror.
more.
So we don't get to see what Charlie
You
looks
never see
like.
his face. Now we cut to Echoes Grove State Institution for the Mentally Ill, and inside we get shots of just random crazy people being crazy. There's two orderlies working the floor. One answers the phone and tells the other one that, hey, Haley Martin has a visitor. Now, Haley Martin turns out to be Charlie's mother, who I have to say hasn't aged a day in 30 years.
She looks fucking fantastic.
They need to study her and find out what her secret is to anti-aging,
because she's no spring chicken in the beginning when she
kills.
kills
In her 50s,
but she's not 85.
They didn't even gray her hair or anything. They got real lazy on this.
They sure did. God damn.
No wrinkles, no makeup, no gray hair, just
nothing.
No, she's completely the same. So she's led to the visiting room where Michael is sitting at the table waiting for her. Now Michael tells her there was a problem, that she got away.
Remember, Michael is Fat Everlast Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah. Haley asks if she was the only one. Michael says no, there was some black guy with her. She slams her fist on the table and tells Michael to get her back. And that's it. We cut to Kevin walking down some sidewalks of a downtown small town or something like that.
Huh? So, Fat Everlast Dusty Rhodes goes visits the mom killer of Charlie.
Which, by the way, why would they have two different last names? Like, Haley Martin, wouldn't she use Haley Varson? Instead of, like, why?
Maybe it's a stepchild?
I don't know.
I didn't realize that.
I mean, even Friday the 13th, it's Mrs. Pamela Voorhees and Jason Voorhees. Why not just keep them the same last name?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they call Haley Martin and Charlie Varson. Like, that's weird.
Huh. But yeah, so there's a connection, and now she get her back. What? I don't understand what's happening. So there's this mystery in the air about how Charlie wants the. How did she get involved?
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm like, well, how is she like? There's no fuck. This doesn't make any sense.
That's exactly what I gotta say. It makes zero sense. Nothing makes sense here. So Kevin enters this bookstore and asks the clerk for some book, but I can't make out what he said because the audio gets bad. And the clerk, the salesman says, all we got here are comic books and games. And first of all, if I know you can't see, if you haven't watched me, you know what I'm talking about. Holy shit, this is supposed to be a fucking comic book store.
It's a used bookstore.
There's like one comic book behind the counter.
Clearly,
that's it.
A used bookstore.
Yeah, there's not a comic book, not a game in sight. It's just old hardback books
everywhere.
I mean, come on, if you're gonna try to pass a place off as a comic book and game shop, just put some fucking comics and games up in the fucking shop. Either that, or just don't show the shop.
Call it a used bookstore.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Just say we're a used bookstore. We don't have that book. You're like, why say we're a comic book game when you clearly see it's not a comic book shop? Kevin leaves, but as soon as he does, he exits and turns right back around, goes right back in, asks the clerk if he has any books in Charlie Varson. Which, again, I find fucking odd, since the clerk just told him that all they have are comics and games, but yet he goes back like, oh, well, do you have this book even though you don't have books? Like, why would you have this?
Obviously, they have fucking books.
Yeah, it's like... Anyway, so the clerk takes Kevin downstairs into the basement, which that alone is kind of creepy. Like, come with me into this dark basement, where he basically leads him to this hidden side room of this underground bookstore.
It's like a speakeasy.
Yeah, it's like this bookstore turned into like the Batcave or something.
He like removes a part of the wall.
Yeah. And there's several newspaper articles that are hung up, and the clerk gets super excited when he learns that Charlie stabbed Kevin, but tells Kevin that Charlie's mother is in a mental house like 10 miles away, so he's all about Kevin leaves again.
This guy is super psyched that, well, you saw Charlie, you touched him, he's real, he physically manifested, so they're really spinning this as Charlie is a supernatural being.
And like a local urban legend type thing. So Kevin leaves again, and the clerk then calls this guy on the phone named Lawrence and tells them to get everyone together because we're going hunting tonight. So basically, this clerk is like one of those like Bigfoot hunter type guys. Like, we're going out hunting.
Or a ghost hunter.
Yeah, he's basically something like that. Yeah.
A Ghostbuster.
So we cut to
Sorry.
the local sheriff's station where we meet the sheriff, the deputy, and the dispatcher. And they're talking about the missing cop, the one who his eyes just exploded for no reason. And the deputy decides to head out to the campground to look for Officer Brown, which we learn is that guy's name.
Dude, I want to work in that police station. Everyone's like sassy. Like there's the sassy woman cop who's kind of like spitting jokes and kind of like rolling her eyes and giving everyone the finger. There's the chief who's just drinking whiskey. I'm like, man, this looks like a cool cop place to work.
Small town cop, man. So now we go back to Heidi, who finds some kind of hidden picture.
Yeah, so the picture that she smashed, the picture of her and Brandon originally, and then she got back in the shower, which we just talked about. She's cleaning up the mess, and she finds a photo behind the picture of her and Brandon.
Right.
So she's like, what's this? And she pulls it out.
But Kevin shows up, and they talk.
We don't get to see exactly.
Yeah.
She just goes, what's this? Whoa.
Whoa.
She seems like kind of stunned by it, but then she like stuffs it in her pocket.
Yeah. And basically here we learn that Heidi grew up in a foster care system with no real family. Kevin rambles on about how none of what happened last night makes any sense and talks Heidi into coming with him to meet Charlie's mother. And Kevin's acting in this scene is pure doo-doo. It's just, again, very, very bad.
Everything's so stiff and weird and just bad.
So Kevin and Heidi, now they go to the asylum, right? And the front desk receptionist tells them that they can't go in. And Kevin gets way too pissed off at this girl who's just simply doing her job.
For the guy who couldn't get any emotion before, all of a sudden gets way too much.
Like, this is what you're breaking for, like, not being chased in the woods by a serial killer, not watching your friends die, but a front desk they say, nope, sorry, you can't go back and see the crazy people.
Are you family? No. Are you her physician? No. Well, you can't see her. Oh God! He's pounding on the desk, and this clerk just doesn't flinch, doesn't react. She's like, this is the reaction she deals with every day.
She's like,
like she doesn't care, and she's just, dude, her typing,
yeah,
quote unquote typing, is her just wiggling her fingers, like just rattling on the board. It's so fucking bad. It's so bad.
So, but Heidi and Kevin, they leave, but before they drive off, Kevin has one more idea on how to get in. So he decides that they're going to bribe one of the orderlies that they see out back smoking. Now, I never knew that mental asylums had playgrounds for inmates to play on, which this one does, because seriously, the two of them are sitting on a bench, and behind them are swing sets, slides, and jungle gyms. This is the third building, by the way, that's been used to represent this asylum. We've seen 3 different ones. I mean, and it's obviously just like an old grade school. I mean, it's so, like, really, you can't use the same building. Let's have some consistency.
Unless it was a pediatric psych. Unless they had pediatric psych there, which is possible.
But again, even if it was a mental institute, there's no fence around the playground.
Oh, yeah, there's that. Hold on.
They just walk free.
We'll talk about the mental institution later when we get to it.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell.
So the orderly tells Kevin that once a month, the inmates are taken to some local church for a night of some sort of like rehabilitation bullshit. And it just so happens that tonight's the night that they're going to be going.
Sweet.
And the orderly will leave the side door open for them, but from there, they're on their own. So now, cut to the campground now, back there at night, and this troop of obnoxious Boy Scouts are having a camp out. The troop leader turns out to be the brother of the dead cop, and is on the phone wanting to know where his brother is and what happened. While he's on the phone, we see in the background these 3 shithead Boy Scouts just picking on the fourth one. God. They're pelting this poor kid with like all sorts of like acorns and pebbles and anything they get their hands on. They're just throwing at this kid who's curled up like in the fetal position. And the troop leader gets off the phone, turns his attention to the others, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on here?" So the Hitler Youth Scout guy, it's just blonde-eyed, blue-eyed kid, just so Hitler Youth. The leader of all this he says the kid fell down and started crying. So I guess that means that became open season on this poor kid just to start picking on him.
Fucking little weasels.
So instead of helping this poor kid, the scout leader basically calls him a little bitch.
Is that true, Tommy? Quit being a little bitch.
Now we hear a wet thud / thumping sound. The scout leader falls down dead as Charlie pulls a screwdriver out of his back.
So here's Charlie.
Here's Charlie. Now Charlie goes on a Boy Scout killing spree here. I love it. He grabs one kid, drowns him in a puddle of mud. Just brutally drowns this kid.
He puts his face in the mud, lifts it back up so everyone can see him going, ah! And shoves it back down in there.
Yep. And then we see the kid that was getting picked on. He's just standing there frozen up against the tree like a complete statue. Charlie looks right at this kid. Like, they lock eyes, but leaves him be, and he moves on to look for the Hitler Youth kid who is hiding. And the Hitler Youth, who's hiding behind the tent, after Charlie kind of moves on, he rushes up to the quote-unquote loser kid, said, hey, is he gone? Where's he gone? Loser kid doesn't say a word,
He's
just
still
stands
frozen.
there. So Hitler Youth rushes over to the fire to grab a hatchet, then he comes back to the tree, but that's when Charlie pops up and kills the Hitler Youth by smashing his head up against a tree. Just brutally smashes this kid's head up against a tree.
This is 3 children we've killed so
Yeah.
far.
So now Charlie stands in front of the loser kid, who they just stare at each other. The loser kid isn't saying a word, and then Charlie just points off somewhere in the distance behind him, basically saying, Go that way, get the hell out of here. So the loser kid slowly walks off the way Charlie pointed, and then Charlie just walks off into the darkness. Leaves the kid be.
Sure.
So, as the loser kid walks away, he runs into Michael now. And Michael says, well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? And lights a cigarette. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I mean, what does that mean? Is Michael gonna fuck this kid? What? Like, why would you say, boy, you're a shot for sore eyes in these woods?
Boy, you're a shot for sore eyes.
And then lights a cigarette, like, oh shit, kid, let me help you out. What are you doing out here? You're a shot for. I think he's gonna fuck this kid.
I'm the son of a plumber. Come on, travel down the dusty road back to my house. God damn.
So anyway, now we cut back to like the deputy we saw earlier driving his car, who, by the way, if you watch in the back, is just driving in circles in an empty parking lot. And he tells his dispatch that he's going to go back to the campground for one last look for the murdered deputy, Officer Brown. So we get a real short shot of Charlie taking the Boy Scout uniform shirt off of the dead troop leader and putting it on, which is really fucking weird considering the fact we've already seen him wearing that shirt in the opening scene.
Yeah, so there's some really weird questions here. Because when he killed the campers in the beginning, he had a black shirt, then he had a uniform on. We don't know where he got the uniform.
Yeah.
So now it's almost showing this is where he got the uniform. But he's already killed those people.
It's like they messed up. Like
this should have been the first scene.
Yeah. Yeah, they totally fucked up this chronologically and this timeline.
In the story of him getting his camping outfit or camp counselor's outfit, or pardon me, Boy Scout.
Yeah. They totally fucked it up.
They really fucked it up.
It's a huge mistake. Like, it's not a small thing. Like, it's obvious. Like, whoa, wait a minute. We've already seen that. So
now he's got 2.
Now he's got 2.
I guess he's got 2 outfits now. That poor camp.
He needed a new one because he ripped the buttons off the old one when he ripped his shirt off. So he needed a new one.
The poor Boy Scout troop just keeps getting killed and
you would
killed.
think they'd stop going to that campground,
right? Yeah. Well, guys, we're going back. We're going back to camp. Whatever
the fuck it is.
It's like, aw. only half of us made it back last time.
Make sure your parents have signed off on that life insurance before we leave.
No shit.
We cut to the church. Doctors and inmates enter, and they sit in this circle for a group therapy session, which again is fucking weird. Which, why the hell would they risk bringing these inmates outside of the asylum for a group therapy session when it's clearly something they can have, and should be having in the controlled and locked confines of the asylum?
Never happened. It would
never happen.
It would never happen. Again, I worked at a mental institution for 3 years.
Yeah.
Never fucking gonna happen.
Yeah, you don't take them outside. And
there's a reason you have secured lock in.
Yes.
God
like,
damn it.
When they first described, like, oh, they're going to, like, I thought they were going like some kind of like charity work. They're gonna go like a community service or work like kind of like what you see like when prisons let prisoners out on good behavior to clean up the roadside.
Yeah.
Not just to go have a group therapy session in the church, which should be done in the asylum in the first place.
Doesn't make any sense.
Like, I hate this so much because they're fucking crazy people. So, and first of all, and seeing the inmates that are involved in this group really fortifies my point on how fucking retarded this is and just how much of a bad idea this
top
is.
Shelf crazy.
I mean, one guy seems incredibly violent. Another one's curled up in a ball, laughing hysterically. And one of the inmates looks like the long-lost fourth member of ZZ Top. Kids, ask your parents who ZZ Top is. So, another odd thing I noticed in this scene is that all the inmates / patients are wearing hospital gowns and robes or scrubs, except for Charlie's mom. For some reason, gets to wear black pants and a black t-shirt.
Yeah, she's not wearing anything anyone else is wearing.
No. Like,
everyone's wearing like scrub pants and
I know you're
trying to make hospital gowns.
I get the idea of you're trying to make her stand out because she's like the important character, but we've already seen her twice now. We know what she looks like. She would not be allowed to wear like such a radically different outfit. She'd be wearing the scrubs, gowns of the rest of the hospital crew like everybody else.
Exactly. Everyone either is going to be wearing their own thing or they're all wearing
the same thing.
A gown.
Yeah. So she rambles on about how she just knows that no matter what stands in her way, things will always come together and work out and blah, 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 blah. We cut to the outside of the church and we see Kevin and Heidi walking around the church and, getting ready to go inside. And inside, Charlie Mom's mother gets up to go use the bathroom. Or she's like, I'm just going. Like, not really. She is escort, but there's really, like, no real security in this thing. It's like, pretty much go wherever the fuck you want.
The escort is a fucking knucklehead in a lab coat.
Yeah.
Who walks with her and he goes, don't fuck this up. Don't pull any funny stuff.
Yeah.
And she goes in the bathroom and he goes in the bathroom. So then she's completely unsupervised.
She can go and turn around and leave. I mean, she doesn't even know he's watching her.
God damn it.
And especially since she's in there for murdering her son. Not like a light, like, oh, I have depression or I'm bipolar or, no, she's a murderer who you're leaving unsupervised. So, yeah, as she goes into the bathroom, Heidi and Kevin, they enter through the side door and follow Charlie's mom into the bathroom.
But this is how fucked up it is. Charlie's mother goes in the bathroom, the orderly goes into the men's bathroom.
Right.
They're both in there. Then we see Kevin and Heidi enter. They have no fucking idea where Charlie's mom is.
That's true.
They don't know where she is. And they go right to the women's bathroom and they open the door and there she is.
That's right.
They have no idea where she could be because they just entered. They haven't seen her. They don't know where she's at.
That's a great point.
They go right to the fucking place.
How the fuck do they know she's in the bathroom?
Pull my goddamn hair out. Fuck.
So they confront her and they want to know what she did to Charlie's body.
It's so stupid.
It's so bad. This whole scene is ridiculous. Everybody just sucks. This whole scene sucks.
The Charlie's mom is a fucking shit actress too.
Yeah, she's not great.
Awful.
She's trying. I mean, she tries. I'll give her that. She really does try.
Yeah, she tries, but
she laughs at them, refusing to tell them anything. But she does say that they are part of this now, and it's all because of her. And she points to Heidi. She calls them both by name, which is really strange considering that they've never met before.
Well, maybe Dusty Rhodes, Fat Everlast told them their names. Because remember he visited them.
Yeah, but he doesn't say the names in that scene. And
he might have told them though.
And I don't recall if Kevin and Heidi gave Michael their names when they met the first time.
They did.
They did it? Okay. So all right, maybe that's it, but still.
She's never seen him.
Yeah. It's just a black guy and a girl. She should not know what their names are.
It's kind of racist, just assuming. There's a black kid here. That must be.
Maybe he's the only black guy in town. So, anyway, before she leaves, she tells Heidi that she needs to go back to Rising Sun, and that's not safe here. We don't know what the fuck Rising Sun is, and it's not safe here. I mean, I guess the church, which I don't know.
Rising Sun, the campground.
Maybe?
I think it's the campground.
I guess it could be.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we figured that out.
Well, if we're going to say it is, then we'll say it is.
Sweet. Camp Rising Ground. Kids don't take Troop 605 there.
Yeah. Kevin and Heidi leave the bathroom and rush out of the church, and Charlie's mom is taken back to the group. As she re-enters, this other girl in the group with black hair, she's much younger. She's like maybe 18, somewhere between 18 and 21. She's a younger girl. And this whole time, she's been pretty comatose or kind of very
rocking back and forth a little bit. Yeah.
She leaps out of her chair, rushes the doctor, grabs his pen, stabs him with it. Charlie's mom sees this, trips the orderly that was escorting her, which, by the way, is the most pathetic trip attempt I've ever fucking seen.
Really bad.
It's so awful, and the fact that this guy actually trips over it makes it that much worse. Because she basically just kind of somewhat puts her foot out, and he, like, face plants. Like, it. Even if you did trip over that, it's not that much of a trip that you wouldn't be able to, like, catch yourself.
Dude, it's like his feet were so taken up from, whoa, boom.
Yeah. I mean, he falls like he just got hit with a Van Damme leg sweep, not like a little, like I just stubbed my toe on a corner or something.
Van Damme leg sweep is a perfect description.
So she stomps on the orderly's head.
Yeah!
She just starts, like, curb stomping this guy.
But still, it takes, I mean, she's got, like, fucking Keds on. You know? Like, basically the thinnest shoe you could ever imagine. She doesn't have fucking Wolverine boots on.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, she might hurt him. He might be like, oh, God, that hurts. But she kills him?
Yeah.
Come on. She's like, she should be 80, but she's 50
Yeah,
years. She's like a
so
chubby,
fragile, like
she's like a chubby 50-year-old woman.
So, yeah, so she's curb stomping this guy while the other girl grabs, stabs basically the shit out of this other
and this
doctor.
makes all the other inmates go, or psych patients go
crazy.
bonkers.
Yeah.
Just start running around grabbing any orderly they can.
Yeah, blood is spraying everywhere. Over the inmates are getting covered in blood. We quick cut to the last orderly who's just happened to be out in the hallway talking on a cell phone
with his back turned to everything.
yeah. Which, okay, we're gonna come back to that for a second. But Charlie's mom sneaks past him with his back and goes out the door. Back in the main room, the other girl has killed somebody else now, while another guy just sits there clapping, covered in blood. ZZ Top now decides to shove her off of whoever it is that she's stabbing, grabs the gay inmate who wants to fuck the doctor. But they got into a fight earlier. They were like arguing over like right before this all happened, but now they're all buddy. It's really weird. They grab each other and they rush off and follow Charlie's mom out through the door.
I wish they just started kissing.
That would have been
That would
hilarious.
have been pretty awesome.
The orderly on the phone now spots them and gives chase, running past Charlie's mom, who is now hiding like in an alcove outside. She gets seen. He chases after the ZZ Top and the gay guy. Seeing that she's all in the clear, she just walks off down the street saying, "I'm coming home."
Dude, this scene, it's supposed to be this epic shot where she's walking in the middle of the
road,
fucking street,
right down the dotted lines of the
right in the middle of the
street
street. She stops, looks left. I mean, she's supposed to look left, look right, and say, "I'm coming home." But she's like clumsily looking to the left or like confused. She's not sure of her line. "I'm coming home." It's like, it's so bad. God damn it.
So,
and it's supposed to be this epic shot, and it just falls flat.
But I gotta say, before we move on, I have to mention, like, okay, there's this orderly on the phone in the hallway, but are you telling me
you don't hear all this commotion?
Fucking like 8 people getting brutally slaughtered, crazy people screaming, laughing, clapping, all this scream going on. You don't hear anything. You're too busy on the phone.
It's in the next room, right next to you.
Right next door. Doors are open. It's a big church, so it's gonna fucking echo. By the way, like, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I hate it. It makes zero. I hate that shit so much. So we cut back to the deputy now, who's sitting in his car with his radar gun. You know, he's looking out for speeders.
His
radar gun looks something more like a price tag laser that someone at Target would be using.
It's a fucking scanner.
Yeah, it's so tiny and dinky.
It's a fucking Target scanner. He's like, "Hey, look at him go so fast." It's like, that cost $2.95. Shit.
So, but keep in mind a second. When we last saw him, he was calling dispatch and telling them he was going out to the campground. What the hell happened to that little plot point?
Yeah.
Like, what?
He changed his mind and
Yeah.
starts.
Like, no, I'm just going to sit in this parking lot now. So eventually he starts to drive off. And again, like I said, he's just seen the goddamn parking lot. And I don't think you're going to catch a lot of speeders in a parking lot, dude. They couldn't even put him on the side of a road. They just put him in a parking lot. But this time, as he's driving away, we see other cars in the background and just random people standing there talking to each other underneath like the giant street lights in the parking lot. So after the parking lot, he suddenly pulls up behind a car on the side of the road. So now he's gone from parking lot to actual road, which again I think is a really shitty transition because it looks bad. And this car just happens to be Kevin and Heidi. He's pulled over.
Sure.
The deputy starts talking to him, but he gets interrupted by dispatch saying that there's an alert out for a woman in her late 60s wearing black scrubs. The deputy leaves Kevin and Heidi, he drives off. So Charlie's not supposed to be in his 60s, which means she would have been in her 30s when he murdered. And again, no, she was in her 60s when she murdered.
She's a rough fucking 30s.
Yeah. So Kevin thinks that Charlie's mom is going to come after them. So Heidi says, hey, let's just go back to my house, and they drive off. So where the fuck are they going in the first place they got pulled? Like, what is happening here? Were they just on their way back from the church and just happened to get randomly pulled over for no reason whatsoever? Then maybe he was black. Who knows?
Driving while black.
But I don't think he was even driving. I think it was Heidi who was driving.
There's a black guy. Get him.
Get him. So
that seems to be the theme right now. Also in this country, I don't know. It's
who
like,
knows?
Black guy, get him.
So back in Heidi's room, Kevin finds that mystery hidden picture that Heidi found earlier. Turns out it was a picture of them from last night at the campground, and Heidi claims she has no idea where it came from.
So whoa.
Yeah, we have a big whoa here. Back it up.
The picture that she found in the frame behind the picture of her and Brandon that she smashed happens to be a photo of her and Kevin running around at Camp Sunrise or whatever.
I don't know if it's her and Kevin or just like the whole group. It's just of them.
But it's of them the night before.
The night before, yeah.
And someone had the wherewithal to take a picture of them, get it developed into an actual photo.
Right.
The same size.
Exact same size.
Exact same size of said, framed photo. Go inside, place it behind the photo of her and Brandon, and put it back in the same spot.
I know.
Just hoping that maybe one day.
I was so we're
sometime
gonna comment that
she'd
later,
find
but yeah, I was like, what? First of all, if you want it, why would you put it behind the picture? Like, it would never.
It may never ever be found.
Yeah, exactly. It never been seen.
It's like,
what's the point of this?
I sent her a message.
Oh, Jesus. So
I think it just spoiled something there, but never mind.
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't. Anyway, so now we cut to the two of them getting out of their car and they're at the campground. So what the fuck just happened? Like this is a horrible transition. Because 1 second we're in Heidi's bedroom. Actually, 1 second they're pulled over on the side of the road. Then they're in Heidi's bedroom, and the next they're back at the campsite. What the hell, man? What's going on? And at this point I'm wondering, why in the hell are they even going back to the campground? I mean, I get they want to kill Charlie for killing their friends, but at some point, one would have to stop and think about this. Like,
you stabbed them fucking 13 times.
You have a seemingly unstoppable, invulnerable killer that wants to kill you, so why go back to him to make it easier on you?
Get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah. On top of that, the killer also seems to stick to a very limited area of these campgrounds, so why not just avoid the campgrounds?
He also seems to be impervious to being stabbed 13 plus times and receiving a screwdriver in the face.
Yeah.
And he's still around. So yeah, he sticks around and just fuck up. Just chalk up your losses. Hey, our friends died. That sucks. I'm out of here.
Yeah. I'm saying if you really want to take being safe to the next level, just fucking leave town. I mean, hell, Heidi has already said that she doesn't have any family here and her boyfriend's now dead, so she really has zero reason to stay. And besides, this would be the perfect time to start over and get a fresh start someplace less murdery.
Someplace less murdery.
I mean, goddamn. So anyway, now the deputy arrives at the camp and finds Kevin's car. Jump back to the bookstore clerk and his pals hiking through the dark woods with flashlights. And,
So it's his ghost hunting buddies.
yeah, his catching big whatever. And his group consists of 2 other guys. So there's 3 guys and 2 blonde girls. One girl's kind of cute, the other's kind of chubby and bitchy. Now, right off the bat, they get into arguing about who and how many people have all died out in these woods. And I love the fact that this group, who is only out here to hunt Charlie, has absolutely 0 gear, equipment, or weapons of any kind with them.
Nothing. They have 2 of them have flashlights. There's 2 flashlights in a group of 5.
And I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go hunt down a legendary killer, I don't know, like Charlie or Jason Voorhees. I'm pretty sure I'd bring guns or something to hurt them or to protect myself with. I mean, but they have nothing. I mean, what are they planning on doing if they find Charlie? They're just going to shake his hand and say, hey, you want to post some selfies with me so we can put it on our Instagram page? Just
I love that mask, dude.
Love that mask, dude.
That mask. Baller.
Hey.
I can touch you. Wow.
So basically, it doesn't take long for for them to run into Charlie.
Yeah, guess what happens?
Yeah, Charlie.
Dude, Charlie doesn't fucking nap.
He
Charlie
never
doesn't-
sleeps.
Dude, but I'm just saying, when someone steps on his ground, he's on them.
He is on him.
He is on them fast. Because as soon as people are in Camp Sunrise or whatever,
Rising Sun,
he is fucking stabby. He's in a stabby mood. He is not happy.
A stabby mood. So Charlie immediately kills the store clerk by stabbing him through the bottom of the jaw with the screwdriver, which was one of the better looking kills.
Yeah. But again, he just uses a screwdriver.
I know, but I'm saying if you're gonna stab somebody, it's at least a more interesting way to stab somebody. So now we go back to Kevin and Heidi walking through the woods. Again, neither one of them has anything to protect themselves with either. What is wrong with these people? Like, they know they're going after a killer, but they bring nothing to defeat him with or defend themselves with.
And he's fucking huge. He is ripped. He's a big, muscular monster.
So, and also keep in mind that Kevin is still nursing his injuries from his first tussle with Charlie, which he lost and got stabbed, which, again, was last night.
Right.
How would he even be at the hospital by now?
Get that guy some antibiotics.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck?
He might have a fever.
I'm pretty sure he'd still be in the hospital and being questioned by who stabbed you? What's going on? Like, he wouldn't just be out and about the next night.
Where are your dead friends?
Yeah. So the girls from the other group are screaming and they hide behind a tree. The other group comes running out from the trees. So now Heidi and Kevin have met up with this group.
And it's so dark.
It is really dark.
The lighting is so bad. It's so dark. It's so dark sometimes you can't see Kevin. Like, I'm not joking. I'm not trying to make a joke. I'm serious. It's so dark you can only see eyes and teeth. In his shirt, which is a dark red shirt, and you can barely see that. It's so dark.
So they're all talking about trying to figure out their next plan of action. And this whole time they keep mentioning that all they want to do is survive. Like, all we can do is survive. That's all we can do. We can't fight back. We can just survive.
Then leave.
Exactly. Like, really, if that's all you want to fucking do, then leave the fucking campground. Or maybe you should have come out here in the first place if all you want to do is survive. Don't go towards the killer. Go the opposite direction. So eventually they all head back to the tree line in one big group as the deputy wanders around by himself. And now a Charlie appears in front of the deputy who shoots Charlie, but this doesn't have any effect on whatsoever.
Dude, this is hilarious. So out comes Charlie. Hulking, scary Charlie.
Right.
Freeze, motherfucker! Stop! Stop where you're going! He's... Also, mind you, the police officer has the tiniest flashlight I've ever seen in my life. Usually they carry a mag light. It's the tiniest fucking flashlight. It fits in the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
He's using the flashlight. He's like, stop where you are. I'm going to shoot. He's warning him. Okay,
right.
Good. Stop. Shoots him. Boom. Hits dead space right in the chest. Charlie takes a knee, then starts to stand back up, and to which the police officer goes, oh shit, and just runs away.
Yeah.
He's what kind of cop are you?
Oh my god, the hiccups.
I mean, you shot him once. He's a big muscular guy. If someone's cracked out or on juice, who knows? I mean, yeah, you could probably hit him once with a slug and he can still come, but he scared him so bad, he took off running.
Yeah, he does. So there's this quick scene of Michael leading that loser Boy Scout. Oh my god, the hiccups. This is going to be awful. I'm so sorry.
This is the first time this has happened.
Yeah, this is going to be real interesting. The listeners, this is going to be annoying
Here
for
we
you
go.
guys. So Michael's leading the loser Boy Scout into his house. Now, the group that actually hears the gunshot from the deputy. And again, they argue over what to do. There's so much arguing. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
No, it's so annoying. It's like they just keep bitching at each other. God damn it.
So
in the dark, in the darkest
dark.
of dark. It's so dark, you can't see anything.
I apologize for his hiccups. We go back inside Michael's house, and there's Charlie's mother sitting on the couch, and she asks the boy his name, and he says,
Yeah.
It's Hank. The boy's name's Hank. Mike puts Hank in a room, like upstairs, and basically locks him in this room almost. Says, hey, hang out in here. Goes back to the mother. Mother yells at Mike for bringing Hank here and tells him from now on, no more slip-ups. And now we see the female deputy, who I originally thought was just the dispatcher, but she's an actual cop, a deputy. She's knocking on Mike's door. And she's asking, like, hey, have you seen this person in the picture? It's the mother. Have you seen the mom? Mm-hmm. And at first he denies knowing her, but then he invites the deputy. Oh, you know what? Maybe
this is so weird.
Yeah, it's really...
Why would she be out in the middle of fucking nowhere?
Exactly.
In the middle of nowhere, knocking on this random house. Random, middle of nowhere house.
I get your campus and neighborhood, but once you start, like, I don't know, maybe around the church.
Where she escaped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why would you go all the way out to this campground, which we really don't know how far away it is from the town or not? But it's obviously the woods, so it is, kind of out further away.
Further away.
Further away. That's a great point. It's nonsensical.
She knocks on the door and he goes, oh, I know who that is. Oh, wait, no. You know what? No. There's a reason she goes out there.
Is there?
Wrong.
Oh.
I'm wrong. There's a reason she goes out there. She goes out there. Do you know this? No, I don't know who that is. Okay, that's funny because you went and visited her in the mental institution.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, oh, yeah, I do. Come on in.
Yeah, that's right.
To which he's like, come. He's just like, no, I don't want you here. I'm going to close the door. As soon as she confronts him about it, he's like, come on in. Come on in. And now she's like, nope, I'm not going to come in.
Exactly.
And he goes, please, no, really,
No,
it's okay.
I love
and she's
it
like,
so much.
okay.
I know.
What the hell?
I know. She's doing the right thing. Nope, I'm going to come back later with back. First of all, she should have backup because cops always go together in pairs now just because of situations like this. So, but he's like, no, I insist you come in. And for some reason, the deputy loses her goddamn mind and just enters the building.
She goes from being a smart cop to a dumb cop like that.
Yeah. Like, how did this power shift so suddenly from cop to hillbilly?
All right, I'll come on in. You got some iced tea?
Yeah. So Mike leads her back to the living room where mom is sitting on the couch. The deputy pulls her gun, orders her to put her hands up, not to move. But Mike very easily and casually,
so casually,
just
like he's flipping a light switch,
just hits the deputy over the head with a lamp.
He just reaches, turns over, grabs the lamp, whoa, like he's done this 1,000 times.
But as soon as her body hits the floor, Hank comes into the room. The mother says to him, I really wish you hadn't seen this. She pulls out a gun and shoots Hank right in the chest.
What the fuck?
So, and then she tells Mike to hide the body somewhere where they won't be found.
Doesn't she shoot the cop too? Don't they shoot? I think they shoot the cop as well. If she's
Probably.
unconscious on the floor, they shoot her too.
Probably.
Yeah, so they shoot her as well, but they don't show it. They just show her pointing at the body and pulling the trigger.
So yeah, just shoot another kid. That's all, So we cut back to the group in the woods.
She hates kids.
Heidi ends up knocking out the deputy, thinking it was Charlie.
Oh, yeah. So we go back to the woods. They're all scared. They hear a rustling. It's the police officer running through the woods, and Heidi fucking, again, her fucking lady nuts are hanging down by her knees, and she fucking karates him with a tree branch to the gut, and as he's bending over, smacks him on the back of the head, rendering him unconscious.
Yeah. So Kevin then just takes the deputy's gun. And again, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, they don't even try to wake this guy up.
Okay?
I mean, Jesus Christ. I would be so pumped to see a cop in this situation.
Right?
I would want his help so much. Like God help us out, dude. But nope, they just leave him unconscious and take his shit. They take his gun.
They just rob him. They just mug this cop. They straight up jack him.
Yeah. So they stand around talking a bit again about what more to do, but I can't really make out what they're saying because again the audio goes out here, and sometimes like I said, the audio is really shit because sometimes it's way too fucking loud.
Yeah.
And then other times I can't understand what people are saying at all. Like, it's really a roller coaster of sound on this movie. I was constantly reaching for a remote, turning up, down, and it was nonstop. So one of these guys seems to just run off by himself. Like, I don't know who, just one of them. But the next thing we see is the group entering some house. And I should also mention at this point, there's another group member who is always like behind the main group.
He's scared. He's always scared.
He can't one. And again, the space of this never really makes sense because he's always so far behind that the others can't be seen.
He's not in the frame.
He's not in frame, but yet he's always seeing them and shouting out to them, "Hey, wait up!" But yet he's like, they don't know. It's weird. Like they make out like it should be a longer distance, but they're obviously like he's just like 20 feet behind them. It's
not that far away.
Yeah. So now this group has entered this house, which I'm guessing is Mike's house, but I don't really know yet, and it might not be. It's just some house. And they are, however, carrying the deputy. And I'm guessing again, wouldn't it have just been easier to, like, I don't know, wake his ass up than to carry this guy around through the woods? But they do set the deputy on the couch, and they figure out they're at a place called Little Farm. And once again, one more time, they argue over what to do. And this leads them to the idea of having one person going back outside to find the exit, and then coming back for the others. And exit? Really? The fucking exit? Like, it's a farm, not the Minotaur's Labyrinth. There's gonna be a driveway which leads to a road, which is gonna lead to another road, which leads to town. Just follow the goddamn driveway.
Get out of Dodge.
Yeah, it's like, find the exit? Like, what is happening? It's angering me.
So much that you have the hiccups.
I have the hiccups because I'm getting so worked.
I can tell, man. It's like...
And this sucks trying to do this with hiccups, man.
I'm sorry.
They're starting to hurt.
I can tell.
So, anyway, the other black guy, there was a second black guy in this group, that the Bigfoot ghost hunting group. He's the one chosen to go out and find the exit.
And then he makes jokes throughout. He's like, yeah, this black guy's got to stick together. You know how this always turns out? We get killed first. So it's like they're kind of playing at the race thing here.
But it doesn't matter. He doesn't make it out far before getting shot in the back by Mike and Mother.
Yeah, so he's got the gun. He's walking towards the exit, trying to find the exit. He makes it about 40 feet outside the door.
That, yeah.
To which the mom's like, "Hey," she said something lame like, "You're not gonna make it too far." And he turns around, he's like, "Bitch, put your hands up! Who are you? What's going on?" And while he's got his gun on her, fat fucking Everlast comes out of nowhere and shoots this guy in the back.
Yep.
It's so fucking lame.
It's infuriating. So we cut to Charlie now sitting in his barn, and he hears the gunshots, and he heads back out into the night. So he's like, "Oh shit, something's going down on my land."
Again, I'm feeling stabby.
So again, like, we're not on a campground. Now we're on a farm. So what is really
Yeah, I mean, where does his lair like?
Yeah, like how long does his
What's
territory
his
go?
perimeter?
Yeah.
Whoa,
Sorry.
that was a big one.
And also, like, why? I don't. I'm just confused, like how they ended up on a farm, and from they went to a campground to a farm, to all these different homes. So it's like I'm confused about the layout of the this world we're in.
Right.
You know. So meanwhile, the group, they too heard the gunshot, and someone wants to leave. Others want to go check on the black guy. More bickering ensues. Heidi then just whips out that mystery picture, shows it to the others, who for some reason get all pissed
really
off
get mad about this
because Heidi didn't show it to them earlier. And why would they be pissed off at this?
Like look at this picture of me from last night.
What the fuck is on this
I'd be
picture?
Like, I don't care. I'd be like, that's great.
I mean,
get me the fuck out of this situation now.
I mean, this group is acting. Now, bear with me here. They're acting like they're the Rebel Alliance right before they launch their attack on the Death Star, but they don't have the Death Star plans yet. They don't have the blueprints. And then Luke just pops up like right and says, "Oh, by the way, this might help. By the way, here it is." Like, what the? You mean you could just could have this a long time ago, Luke? What the hell, man? Like, we're flying blind here.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the reaction. Like, it's so illogical. I don't understand why this group, they don't know each other.
No.
Why they're getting so upset about this picture that Heidi pulls
It has
out.
no bearing on their current situation.
Zero.
Right now, they're in Fucksville, and then they see this picture, and then they freak out even more.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that's the least of their concerns at this point?
Right. I'd be like, look at this picture of me last night. Bitch, get the fuck out of
I
here.
don't give a fuck about a picture right now.
I'm worried about right now.
Yeah. So, again, Heidi pulls out her giant lady balls, and she takes charge of the group, and they all leave the house, carrying the deputy with them. Outside, they run into Mike and the mom. Mike tells Heidi that he was the one stalking her and taking the pictures, but before he can say anything else...
Fat Dusty Rhodes has done this again. Or Fat Everlast Dusty Rhodes. Sorry.
Yes. Mother cuts him off before he can say anything else, and she goes into her speech now, saying to Heidi that she needs her and that Heidi is a part of this. Mother goes on to call her a very special pawn in her game,
God,
and that she is very close to reaching the other side and becoming a queen. At this point, the deputy wakes up, sees Mother, he orders her to freeze, and goes for his gun, which of course is now gone because Kevin stole it. Mike simply just shoots the deputy.
This poor fuck. He got knocked the fuck out, drug around throughout the woods. As soon as it comes to, he's like, I can help. Ah, shit. I was like, God, Fat Everlast is going to shoot me. Shit.
This causes the two blonde girls and the other guys to flee as Mike pops off a few more rounds at them.
Yeah, he just starts dropping them like flies.
Heidi and Kevin just stand there for some reason. They decide not to go anywhere. Guy one and the cute blonde girl run back into the house, lock the door. Mother tells Kevin that he was never a part of their plan. Mike is about to shoot Kevin when Heidi shouts out, "No, I'm not playing your game, and I won't let you take anyone else from me." On that cue, Charlie walks up behind them, looks at both Heidi and Kevin, then stands kind of in the middle of this like pyramid triangle of people, facing down Mike and Mother. Mother rambles on and on some more, talking about how special Heidi is, and she asks Charlie if he would like to know who Heidi is to them. But before she can continue, Mike stabs her in the back, killing her. He says to a dying mother he couldn't let her spoil everything, especially in front of his daughter. So yeah, there's the big surprise, not surprise, that wasn't really a surprise at all, so that Heidi is related to these kids, which was so fucking obvious from like a long time ago.
So Fat Everlast Dusty Rhodes is the father of Heidi?
Yeah, he says not to my daughter. So yeah, so Mike is Heidi's father, which I'm assuming makes Mother the grandmother. And if my theory is right, Charlie is the uncle.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, after Mother dies, Mike looks up just in time to see Charlie charging him. Like bull rushing.
He looks fucking scary.
He does. This is the scariest he looks. blackout, roll credits. What the fuck? That's how it ends. But we do get a post-credit scene where we see a whiteboard with the name Charlie written on it a few times, along with other words like monster and the names Michael, family, Alex, April, Kevin. The camera pans over to a window and then pans down to reveal the crazy girl that killed the doctors and inmates during that group session at the church. And she's just rocking back and forth with this crazy smile on her face. And then we hear a voice, which I'm guessing is supposed to be the mother's voice, saying something that I can't quite make out, but it sounds something like Night Wind or something. I don't know what the fuck she's saying. Roll the rest of the credits. So I have no fucking clue what that was all about.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. Like, and what the shit kept ending is like, so Kevin, Heidi are alive. There's some people alive in the house. Charlie charges Mike.
Mike's got a gun. They're gonna
like this reminds me of that fucking end of Playing with Dallas Bloods where it just blacks out right in the middle of shit and you don't know what the hell happened. And then you get a nonsensical post-credit scene that makes zero sense.
Nonsensical. It makes no sense.
We have never seen. We saw that girl in one scene in the
where she
church session where she kills people. Never see her again.
How did she relate to this?
Don't know. Don't fucking know. So and also on top of it, what the hell happened to the campers that were originally telling this story in the first place?
Right!
Like, this was all a flashback, but you never get an end of the story.
This is supposed to be a story!
Yeah! It's not like having
damn it!
There's supposed to be an end of this. You're supposed to go back to the campers and say, yep, that's how it ends, or something like that, and then Troy pops up and kills them.
Right!
That's how it should have ended! Like, something! What is going on?
Fuck!
So, on top of that, what the fuck was this plan supposed to be with Heidi? Like, how did that even, like, how is that even possible? Because they didn't know Heidi was gonna be there. And if, like, how is that even supposed to come to fruition? What was supposed to happen?
How fucking lame was that picture?
Like,
the whole picture thing that they kept, like, talking about, that was so lame. That had no bearing on anything. And people are freaking, fuck this. God damn it. God damn it.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions left unanswered with this movie. A lot of issues. But let's move on to favorite kills.
There can be only one. Favorite kill?
All right. There were a decent body count in this movie. Not
a body count, yes.
Body count.
But
kills, I know, it's rough. You gotta pick something, man. You gotta pick something.
I'm gonna go with the very first kill. I'm going to go with Charlie getting stabbed by his mom.
Really?
Because that was probably the most interesting death. That was the way you kicked me. We haven't already soaked through the shit that we got into. So, we're starting off with a fresh, clean palate. And they go to the barn. She's looking affectionate. She's stroking his face affectionately, saying, I love you. And then she starts stabbing him. And, it's not a hugely graphic kill, but it's a kid getting murdered. It's probably the one that was kind of it definitely caught my interest. And that's it. That'd be my favorite kill.
All right. For me, yeah, again, the kills weren't that great.
They were really bad. And, he was so quiet. He, like, whenever he stabbed them, they go, Arr! No one, like, no, like, multiple stabs. It was always like, one stab, you're dead.
Now, part of me likes the cop whose eye just exploded for no reason whatsoever. Like
Charlie's magical powers.
Magic power just blows this guy's eye out. The screwdriver up through the jaw was one of the better stabbing.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna go with either the random eye explosion because it's just so fucking weird and random, or even though it's two kills, but the scene where he just goes on the mad Boy Scout killing spree.
That's
rounds
pretty
a kid
cool.
and smashes another kid's face up into a tree. I don't know if I can really pick between the two.
You can just say Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts.
It's like two little...
Well, I meant like Boy Scouts with the eye explosion. Like, I'm not sure which one I'm going with there, but it's high for me. Everything else kind of sucked.
It did.
It wasn't great. But I mean, I get it because I mean it's a low budget independent movie, so I get that. Not everything can be all super gory and super special effects. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's part of the thing that the problem was like they limited themselves by using a screwdriver as the weapon.
Yeah,
I mean,
big time.
There's not much you can do with that.
Yeah, not a lot of versatility.
No.
He did snap into a Slim Jims a couple times, I think.
He did break some necks, yeah. And there's a lot of people getting shot, but that's not scary. All right, so let's move on to odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
All right, this is gonna go real fucking fast this week because there's like nothing. Ratings: IMDb a 3.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes and Amazon, there is nothing there. They're not on their sites. Even Amazon, there's nothing there,
Wow.
which is surprising.
Wow, yeah.
Plot keywords, again, none. Trivia, none. Couldn't find anything. Can't find nothing on it. So that's it for odds and ends. However, ironically enough, we do get to play the budget game.
Time for Aaron to blow his wad with the budget game.
So, of all fucking things, we get the budget for this. Aaron, what is your guess for the budget for Campground the Requel?
God damn it. Okay. They had locations. They had several different locations. They had a lot of people in this movie.
A lot of people.
There were a lot of people.
Yeah.
They spent money on the shitty looking sheriff's uniforms, the stickers that went on the car, like someone's, uncle's Ford Taurus that looked like a sheriff's vehicle. $12,000.
Well, you blew your wad,
I
but
blew
not
it.
by much.
Okay.
Very, very close. Estimated budget, $10,000.
Hey, that's a win.
That is super
I'd
close.
say that's a win. I'd say that's pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
I mean, we're not playing.
Give it to
We're
me.
not playing Price is Right rule, so we don't get lose
Yeah,
for going
okay,
over.
it's
But
true, but
that's close. I'll give you that one.
all right.
$10,000 estimated budget. Now 5-star reviews. Nope, nothing there either. So that's it. Let's go.
Worst episode ever.
We go straight, yeah, including Marshall's hiccups.
We're
Enjoy
kind
that.
of drunk. Marshall's got hiccups. This movie sucked.
So let's wrap it up. Final thoughts, Aaron. Kick us off.
I think I
here.
just said it. This movie sucks. I'm gonna say so bad it's scary. Just a few things. It's kind of funny. It's a bummer because the guy who directed it was Roman
Joseph.
Right, the guy who played Brandon.
Yeah.
Who was the strongest actor.
Yep.
Who had the best personality.
Yep.
And I seem to like that character. And I imagine there's a lot of his personality put into the characters he plays. He seems like a pretty cool guy. I liked him a lot in Don't Fuck in the Woods.
I loved him in Don't Fuck in the Woods.
Loved him in that. And I liked his character as much as the little taste we got of him in this one. But he's not there. So you take your strongest element and you put him behind the camera. Okay.
Well, I mean, he wrote and directed movies, so that's his role. So I don't blame him for not having a bigger role because he can't direct movie, and he's not doing like a George Clooney writer director egomaniac.
Well,
thing,
I'll tell you what then, man. Stick in front of the camera, because behind your camera stuff, I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. It was too hard to keep up with. It was convoluted. The actors were dog shit. I just did not care for this movie at all. I would say it's so bad it's scary.
Now, I'm on the fence with this one.
Really?
I'll explain myself here. I'm gonna go. I got some stuff to say. Oh, I just lost my train of thought as I say that. Okay, first of all, I think this movie had potential. I really did. Like, it started off, you had the formula, you had the killer, the campground, the woods, you had everything there. It's just somewhere it got derailed. I don't know what I'm originally going to say is, this is a remake or a retelling of the actual Campground movie. What the fuck was that movie like? Like, why do they need to remake it into this? Like, what are the differences between these two? Because this isn't a complete sequel. It's, the joke is it's called the Requel, which is like a remake,
Right.
retelling, but a sequel. So I really want to know what the difference between the two is. But like I said, I think there was potential for this movie. It started off strong. I mean, God, we had like 10 kills, or not maybe 10, but at least a good 5 or so in the first 10, 15 minutes. And then it just started morphing into something else.
You know what I did like? Was the killer. I thought he was a big. He was a big, imposing, scary looking dude. His mask was a little something to be desired.
Yeah.
But he moved like when he was running. He looked like he was going to run right through you.
Yeah.
He was fucking intimidating with his physique and his size, and like he looked like he could fuck up 4 or 5 people at one time.
Give him a better mask and maybe some draggier and more,
Or you can give him
horror-esque clothing. And
or some versatility with weapons.
Yeah.
Just
I agree with you. Like, the killer was the best ass in the movie.
I totally agree. I think the killer was the best thing about the movie.
But again, I don't think it was utilized to his fullest potential.
Mm-hmm.
And that said, like, and then when you look at the ending of this movie, is he really even the villain? Like, Jason, Michael, they're the villains. They're the bad guys. But then almost because he's like a sympathetic guy. I mean, his mother kills him, and he comes back wanting vengeance. What's going on here?
His brother, or is it his brother?
Like, what's going on with his family? And then he kills. Obviously, wants to fight the brother or
and
kill
he's
Mike.
charging at him like a fucking bull.
Right, and
it looks like it's going to be an epic showdown, and we don't get to see any of it.
And then you think about, he killed kids, but he killed the bully kids and left the one kid alone. Like, get out of here, kid. So
his mom shot.
So basically, he was standing up in a very demented, murderous way, but he was standing up for the little guy. So the killer isn't really even a killer. He's more sympathetic. He's more like an anti-hero, which is, you can't have that in a slasher movie.
Yeah, you can't.
But once the movie started shifting away from the killer, from Charlie, and started becoming more about this mother Michael weird ass dynamic with Heidi crap, I started losing it. Like, I don't care about these people. Just give me the killer slashing people in this campground. That's all I need. It's called Campground, not fucking mental rehabilitation family therapy session movie. I don't know what you want to call it. Like, it's not that. So that's where I lose it. But I like the beginning. There's some kill scenes I like. I like that they had the balls to kill the Boy Scout kids. You don't see that every day.
You love when they kill kids.
Roman, I hate to say, Roman Joseph, except I agree with you. We loved him in Don't Fuck in the Woods. He was awesome at that. His short time on screen in this movie was great. He was definitely the best asset in this movie next to the killer. And I get why he wasn't anymore because he directed it. But I'm on the fence because there's probably I really liked it, but there's things about I didn't like. But when it comes down to it, gun to my head, I'm gonna probably have to say so bad it's scary.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I really wanted to like it. There are some good things about this movie, but I think there's more things that fell short, that didn't live up to potential, that ultimately brings it down for me. Now, with that said, I have been in talks with Roman Jossart over Facebook, and we are setting up an interview to talk about this movie and Don't Fuck in the Woods. Hopefully later next week we'll be done. So let's see how we handle that after Aaron just ripped his movie apart. Now, who knows? It might not even happen now, but we have been talking. He's excited about doing it, so hopefully that'll be coming up in pretty soon. So watch for that.
I mean, I just gotta be honest.
I know that's what we have to be honest. That's what we do. We're honest.
But I like it when they make these movies, So
maybe he can explain some to us that we got lost in transition, or maybe explain some of this stuff. But either way, we're still going to talk about Don't Fuck in the Woods and some other things he's done. So
really quick, there's some things I forgot to mention really quick.
Okay.
Mike, the character Mike, had a tattoo on his forearm of this character, or this like alien that's Daniel Johnston, who is a great musician who I believe has schizophrenia and has some mental health issues, who made some amazing music. He just made a bunch of tapes, and it got picked up most famously by Kurt Cobain. It was an influence in Kurt Cobain's life and music career, and there's pictures of Kurt Cobain wearing these Daniel Johnston T-shirts with his weird art on it. And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit! It blew my mind. I was like, one, I can't believe someone got a tattoo of that on his forearm. And two, I was like, that's fucking cool. So that guy that plays Mike must have some great musical taste.
Oh, there you go.
And he fucking sounds like Dusty Rhodes. Which is fucking awesome. The other thing that kind of came to mind a little bit was I couldn't help but thinking about Charlie's Farm.
I could kind of see that because I was going to kind of make a reference of the killer who runs and tip the size and running. Look like it could bowl you over. Plus, there is a farm on both of them, but there's some similarities.
There's a few similarities, and I'm sure it was never intentional. but you had a tragic, life from a young man's point of view who had something horrible happen to him, and they become this hulking beast that stays in this particular area that kills anyone that comes to it. So it's like Charlie's Farm meets Campground, So it's just kind of, and his name is Charlie, of course. So that's just kind of a weird thing that goes.
That's true. Yeah, they are both named
Yeah.
Charlie.
And they're both hulking killers in a small area.
All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for next week. Like I said,
Don't hate me, Roman.
we won't be back next week because we're doing every 2 weeks now. But our next movie we'll be doing, I can announce it now, in honor of everybody's beloved Shark Week. We're taking on the I see if I can pronounce this properly. Sharkensaw Women's Prison Massacre film. So yeah. It's Arkansas with a shark and Sharkensaw Women's Prison Massacre. We're doing that one. We actually got a submission from a fan of ours in our mail. I think his name's I'm sorry about it, Todd Brown or Tim Brown, something like that. Todd.
That's like the most simple name ever.
I know.
You're fucking
well,
up.
I know it's Brown, but if it's Todd or Ted or
Why
Tim,
didn't you write it down?
Shut up. Anyway, he suggested we do Swamp Shark, and I was gonna write back, but I was gonna tell him on this because he'll probably listen. The reason we're not doing Swamp Shark, even though I appreciate the suggestion, is I already bought Sharkensaw Women's Massacre. I've already bought the movie. I have my copy of it. And it's ready to go. So, but thank you for the message. So hopefully this will be the same thing though. And so look forward to that in 2 weeks. In the meantime, guys, watch more horror movies and remember to always always keep it tight.
Requel.